natural yogurt. You either love eating it for breakfast or you're not the biggest fan. But because it's January, you bought one thinking,
maybe I'll be a little bit healthier this year. Maybe I won't eat the stuff with the sugar in.
And then guess what? You opened it up, it got crusty in the fridge, and now you don't know what to do with it. Well, how about making these? We've got some banging yogurt flatbread, a delicious customizable dip, and that all-important marinated chicken, which is tender as you like. And the best thing is about these three uses, they create a delicious lunch. So let's get into it, and I'm going to show you step by step how to do each and every one. So here is that tub of natural yogurt, and you know you can do so many things with this great ingredient, but I bet you nearly always end up with a little bit left in the fridge. So today I'm going to show you 3 great uses, and even better, these 3 great uses all combined together make a full meal. So at the end, I get to eat something delicious. If you're new around here, you will know that that's my favorite part of any video. I love nothing more than tasty, delicious food, and getting to eat it is the best part. Also, you may not know, I'm Del of Dishes with Del. I've been a professional chef for the best part of the last 2 decades, and I am here to help you guys at home become confident home cooks. I often use up leftovers, I sometimes make budget meals, but all I want to do is make you guys more confident in the kitchen with delicious recipes so that you can waste less food, keep some dollar in your pocket, and learn a thing or two on the way. So in this video, we are going to use this yogurt to marinate and tenderize chicken, make a delicious dip on the side, and make some wonderful bread to wrap it all up in. Now, doesn't that sound great? So let's jump into the first little bit, and we're going to use this to tenderize our meat. Okay, the apron's on, let's get to it. As you can see here, the top of this yogurt pot is a little bit crusty, so it's always good to open it up and have a look. Also, maybe just give it a little smell to check it's all right. We're good. The good thing about natural yogurt is it takes a bloody long time to go off, so I'm sure it will be fine even after a month of being open. And if it was anything like living in my house when I was younger, you might just open it up, it might be a few months out of date, but if it tastes fine, you're probably good to go. But the first thing that we are going to do with this yogurt is use it to tenderize some meat. And today I'm super excited because I've got some chicken thigh, and chicken thigh, I don't know why, but the price has just gone absolutely through the roof here in New Zealand, and so don't very often buy it anymore. Often just go for a drumstick because it's cheaper, but this stuff was on an absolutely cracking special, so I thought you can get in my basket. So let's get these guys deboned, and we'll make some delicious flavoring to go in with that yogurt. So to debone these chicken thighs, I like to use a small knife where I can, scrape along the, cut along the top of the bone, and then kind of use a nice knife to scrape around the edge and break the flesh free. It's super easy to do. It's a great technique to use because often with bone in, you might pay a little bit less. Then we're just going to slice it up into chunks, and we're ready to go. So my meat all cut up. I've also kept these little guys because I'm going to cook them in the air fryer and then can have like a little chef nibble at some point during the day when, you know, I'm feeling peckish. So don't chuck them, or if you didn't want to chuck them, you can make them into chicken stock at one point. If you're looking for a video on that, I've added it just up here, and it's a really great thing that you can do is like save your little collection of bones along the way, and then you can make chicken stock at a different time when you've got a whole bunch all saved up. But for now, we're going to get this marinated because ideally you want to give it a couple of hours, if not overnight, for that yogurt to really work its magic, and you can do it whichever flavors you like. I'm going to go a little bit kind of Greeky, paprika-y, maybe a little bit Indian-y, I'm not quite sure. Anyway, we'll get the spices out and we'll get this stuff into marinade and pop it in the fridge. So first, let's add some spices to the bowl. I'm going to go for half a teaspoon of smoked paprika, a little half a teaspoon of garam masala, a teaspoon of cumin, and half a teaspoon of turmeric. You also want to make sure that you get some salt in there, so about a teaspoon, and a good crack of black pepper. Probably the equivalent of about a teaspoon. Plus, I will just glug in a little bit of olive oil. About a tablespoon should do the job. So that's all the spices in, and then I'm going to add just about a half a cup of that plain yogurt. Oh, it smells incredible already. I'm excited. So in goes that chicken. And that's it. Easy as. It doesn't take a minute to do. It's absolutely delicious, and it's a great use for using up some of that natural yogurt you had left over in the fridge. So off it goes, and we'll cook it in a bit. Okay, chicken. Oh, he's been marinating for probably like 3 hours. Looks absolutely banging, you know, taking on a nice bit of colour from that turmeric. Wonderful. So let's get it cooked. Now, up to you, preference whichever you like. Air fryer, nice and hot. You want to get a little bit of colour on it. It will be great because the yogurt will provide that, but I would suggest that maybe you sit it on a bit of grease proof, because otherwise it's going to stick like hell to the bottom of your air fryer. And we know I love an air fryer, so it's a great option. You could turn on the oven, bake it in the oven if you didn't have an air fryer, and then what I would do is turn the grill on and give it like 5 minutes under the grill. Again, you want to get a bit of char on it, because char is flavour when it comes to something like this, and we'll just add that extra layer of deliciousness to the final meal. But it is summertime here in New Zealand, and so today I am going to grill up some of this on the barbecue, because nothing tastes like food cooked on the barbecue. And if it hadn't have been raining, I probably would have got the charcoals out and done it on there, because charcoal cooked food, delicious. So we're going to get this cooked easy as. All I'm going to do is cook it on the barbecue until the chicken is cooked. If you are worried about cooking chicken, get yourself a little thermometer. They're great. You want to take it up to about 72 degrees and your chicken will be cooked through. Also, if you were looking for something to have with this delicious flatbread char grilled chicken meal, up in the top corner, I've added a video about barbecued salads. Sounds interesting. You know, barbecues aren't just for cooking meat. You can make delicious salads on them too. So go give that a watch if you want something to go with this delicious dinner. Oh, barbecued to perfection and just absolutely delicious. So let's move on to the second way to use up this yogurt, which is going to complement this chicken fantastically. Here is use number 2. As you can see, we've still got some of the yogurt left. I've got some self-raising flour and I've got some salt. This is going to make the most amazing, simple flatbread. People think, you know, bread, complicated, needs yeast, needs time. Nuh-uh, this does not. It's so quick, it's so easy to make, and if you didn't have self-raising flour, you could easily use plain. And if you head to my website, find this recipe, it will give you exactly what you need if you're using plain flour. So having said that, let's get these weighed out, and you know me, I always prefer to use a scale for things like this, where I need exact measurements. Bit different with the chicken, because half a cup, roughly, whatever, it doesn't matter. You just need enough to coat it. If you had a bit more, you have a slightly wetter chicken. But for this, we need scales, and we're gonna weigh it out, mix it together into a dough, and cook it in the pan. Simple, quick, and the best thing with this is you can, again, flavour the bread with whatever you like. Maybe you've got some oregano growing in your garden, or you've got some dried in the cupboard. Chop it up, add it in. But the most important thing is that you season it, and you give it a few minutes to rest once you've mixed it, to get everything going in the self-raising flour. Simple, delicious, and will taste absolutely banging with that chicken. So let's get some of these made. You need to weigh out 350 grams of self-raising flour, 350 grams of Greek yogurt, and a good old teaspoon of salt. Simple, mix it all together. If it's a little bit sticky, you can add a touch more flour, but kind of keeping them a little bit moister is nicer. You'll have a slightly bouncier texture to your flatbread. Also, when it comes to the flatbread, do what you like. You can make slightly rounder, fatter ones, which are a little bit deeper, and that will be a slightly more fluffy flatbread, or you can roll it out a bit thinner. You'll get a little bit more of like air pockets and rise, and you'll get a few more bubbles like this, but you'll have a slightly flatter and more wrappable wrap to your flatbread. But what I do suggest is if that you are using them for your dinner and you're making them a little bit earlier, get a tea towel, sit them inside the tea towel, and that little bit of extra steam will keep them soft and pliable for when you actually need them. And what's great is this recipe will easily make 6 nice flatbreads. And there they are, all done. And like I said, what's great is if you fold them up in a tea towel, they stay soft and pliable. So that's the big fat guys. And then here are the slightly more plump ones. As you can see, they've got a little bit more of a fluffy interior. Oh, smell absolutely amazing. And honestly, these things are just so easy to make. And for a quick flatbread, I don't know if you could ask for much more. And the good thing is, this recipe, however much yogurt you have, same amount of self-raising flour. No complicated equations or anything, just whatever you have, plus the flour. So a great way to use up the end of your yogurt. Anyways, yeah, I'm so good warm. But now we're gonna move on to the final part, which is making a delicious dip, and then we can put it all together and have some lovely lunch. So let's get to the next one. And we've made it to number 3 of my suggestions of things that you could do with your leftover yogurt and make a delicious dinner all at the same time. Now, I originally, when I started filming this, thought I was gonna go like, you know, Turkish vibes with kind of tzatziki. But then I kind of had a look around in my cupboard and I thought, actually, there's a whole lot more that I could be doing with this. What is great about yogurt is it's a classic. Not only is it a leftover, but it's also using up whatever you got left in the fridge. If you only had some sriracha and maybe, oh God, I mean, maybe a bit of a spring onion, chop it up, put it in. The thing with yogurt is it will just take on flavour and just be a great addition that you can drizzle all over the top. It might be something like a mango pickle. This is like, especially if you've gone like Indian-y flavours with your chicken. You know, this is like a little bit salty, it's a little bit spicy, it's a bit sweet. It's not a chutney, it's a pickle. So it's not like the crazy super sweet stuff. But actually that would also be epic mixed in with some yogurt. You just got to think about what you like. I mean, I've even got here some sambal, and I mean, I think we're gonna go sambal. Oh yeah, this sambal, I'm gonna make one time. We're gonna make a video on it. Do you know what sambal is? Would you like to know how to make it? Again, it's a great condiment for kind of using up bits and bobs. Anyways, could be any of them. I think we're gonna go a bit of coriander, a bit of spring onion, and some of this sambal all mixed together, and it's as easy as putting it all in a bowl and mix it in all up. But because I got a bit rage rappy with this, I'm gonna cut the packet open with a pair of scissors so we can get in there, get all that yogurt, get it all flavored up, and then it's time to eat. So simple, so easy, whatever you got, put it in. This is what I'm always trying to encourage here at Dishes with Del, is you don't have to go out and buy all the things, just use what you've got. I guarantee you have got something delicious. The other day actually, my partner, he made some flavored yogurt and put in some Chinese spice, and I can't remember what else he put in there, but it was just delicious. You know, anything can impart flavor on this neutral, wet substance. So use what you like, do what you like. If you want more ideas, head over to my website. You'll find the recipe there and there'll be loads of suggestions. But simple, things don't need to be complicated. Just use what you have and make it delicious. Make sure as well, when you're mixing it all together, you always give it a taste, because you want to make sure that the seasoning's right and there's like a little bit of salt, maybe a bit of acid, you know, the good stuff. So let's get this all mixed together and get plated up. And that's it, done. Oh yeah, the sambal was a good choice. But as I said before, does need a little bit of salt and pepper. I mean, even if you only had pepper, you could still make like a peppered yogurt, which would still be absolutely yum. Maybe like grate a garlic in or something. So versatile, don't ever get rid of it. And that's it, done. Quick taste again. Yes, salt, honestly, best ingredient out there. Enhances all them flavors, makes everything taste delicious. So everything is ready. Let's see. And that's it, everything is ready. Easy, simple, delicious, customizable. I don't know what you wouldn't love about it, but the most important part of all of it is that it tastes good. So let's get one of these wrapped up and we can get into it. Oh, that flatbread still soft and malleable. Then beautiful golden chicken pieces, all topped off with that sambal yogurt. I am hungry and cannot wait for this. I mean, you already know what I'm gonna say. That is absolutely delicious. So much flavour in that chicken. It's soft, it's tender. That amazing yogurt dressing, flavoured with that sambal, but whatever you've got will be fantastic. And then wonderful, soft, delicious flatbreads. Simple, easy. Oh, I'm just, oh my God, just yum. That chicken is so tender. Oh, and of course you could pimp it out however you want. Imagine adding in there some pickled veg, a whole bunch of crispy, crunchy iceberg, and maybe even some cheese. I mean, next level, delicious wrap. These videos, they're all about encouraging you on not throwing things away that you think no longer have a use or might be going off. There's always a use for something, and I guarantee you can make something absolutely delicious. If you've made it all the way to the end of this video, I much appreciate it. I love all of you guys out there and every single one of you who likes or comments or watches. I mean, I honestly love you all. And if you're new and you've just found me, well then give me a like, give me a subscribe, join in the Dishes with Del community. And down in the description box are loads of other ways in which you can be part of it. There's a newsletter, I've got a website, you can even find me on other socials. But that is it for today. I'm gonna finish my lunch and I will see you all next week when no doubt we'll be making another thing that's absolutely delicious. Oh. That chicken is just so good. I'll see you later. Oh, yum.